Hey, what's up, everybody? Shinbor here with Geeking Out, and I got a special guest with me today for this breakdown impressions of the first gameplay footage that dropped today. My comrade from New Gaming Order, we have T Risk. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? What's up? Glad to be here for the first time.
Yeah, for the first time, right? Yeah, he's doing hard work over there with his Hear Me Out segments. Filling in for Alex Lexus while he's away at military training. Shout out to Alex Lexus. And yeah, he's like missing all the good stuff, but soon enough he'll be
Every
back. And
time.
yeah, right.
Every time.
All right, so guys, let's get right into it. You see here you have Strider taking on the Hulk, and I mean, just the backgrounds look vibrant as opposed to, and this is just my opinion, as opposed to Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Ultimate. I felt like the backgrounds in that game were just dark, and I just felt like the game visually was dark. What do you think about that, T-Risk?
I mean, you're not wrong there. The game visually, with all its filtering, was very dark, but that was to try to get that kind of inked tone look of a Marvel comic book.
Right.
So it had its I guess you could say it's necessary look down packed, even though for some people, visually speaking, it might have looked a bit too dark for them.
Yeah, and now I'm looking at this looks to be Asgard. Like this stage is vibrant, like so colorful. And then you see Strider just wailing out on Chris Redfield, and Chris Redfield just used it looks like a trait of the Power Stone, which caused a wall bounce. Did you see that, T-Risk?
Yes, for what you was on before. Yes, from the trailer of the story mode, it seems like that's Asgard.
Right.
Just a kind of viral or robotic take on it
Hmm.
for I assume story reasons. And as for what you mentioned with the wall bounce, yes, that seems to be a specific trait for the Power Stone.
Right,
Not
right. And
not
I
Power
noticed.
Stone from
Mhm.
Capcom, but the Power Gem actually.
Right, right, right. Well, in this game, there I know they're calling it the Infinity Stones, but I'm noticing that for the Power Stone, for everybody as a special trait, it causes a wall bounce without the cost of any type of meter. So, like Thor used it against Ultron. Actually, he whiffed it, but it didn't cost any meter, which I think is kind of cool because I saw in another part, Chris Redfield was using the Time Gem and he was like teleporting. And then you can see right there, Ultron just used it. He teleported, uh, right in front, like he's phasing through without cost of meter. So I think that's kind of cool. I know there was another part in the video where Hulk used the space gem and it moved the opponent closer to him, like closing the gap or closing the space. I think that's kind of cool.
Correct. He was using it against Thor at the time,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and that's what it seems like. This system in particular is something like the V system in Street Fighter Five,
Mm-hmm.
whereas okay, so we have seen the Infinity Stone for the Power Stone. The Power Stone gives you, as its V skill in that regard, the
Mm-hmm.
ability to do a wall bounce.
Right.
But when you go into V trigger mode, like when you fill up the entire meter,
And when you activate it,
there
yeah.
is there's this thing that is called on screen Infinity Storm.
Right.
And what
Mm-hmm.
that does for the power gem, it gives you just more damage in general. It gives you more wall bounces, more ground bounces when you normally should have more
Right.
OTG capability. And for the I think space gem, it gives you control over space. So I believe it was Ultron used the Infinity Storm version of that where he had enough meter, and it put this wall
Yeah, it put like Hulk in
over.
a box.
Yeah, it put Hulk in a box and gave him a wall basically for corner combos anywhere on screen.
Yeah, I thought that was real creative, and it was like the opposite of one of Magneto's moves. Well, in Marvel superheroes, when Magneto would activate the space gem, he would get his magnetic shield, and so it's kind of the reverse now. And because it put Ultron put the Hulk in a proverbial box per se, and I thought that was really good. I thought that was really good. Um, Speaking of OTGs, now so there's not like assists coming out and just doing an OTG. We seen the Hulk do an OTG, and I thought it was cool. Like it was, it looked like he did a low short into the pop up. How do you feel like as opposed to Marvel vs. Capcom's OTG and the old school way of OTG? And what do you think about that?
Well, I personally think this one resembles closer to the Marvel vs. Capcom 1 or the previous versus titles, whereas you can OTG off of a number of different normals.
Right.
Whereas in Marvel 3, it was very specific. You could only do it off of certain special moves or for certain normals, like a launcher or a move that specifically was a projectile that hits the ground in some sense.
Or an assist, or if you
Or
had
an assist.
a certain assist.
But the assists are using a move that would normally do an OTG more often than not anyway.
Right. That's a very good point. Another thing I noticed here with Chris Redfield in the Hulk, you see Hulk just tagged in and he came in. So it looks like you can tag in at will without the cost of using meter, but there's a restriction symbol in the character portraits and by the life bar. You can
Right.
see the character restriction sign basically saying like there's a cooldown period until you can switch again, and I think that's cool. So it's not like crazy zany all over the place, and there's no meter because obviously you're going to be using the meter to do supers or counters or whatever have you, and I think that's kind of cool. I like that.
So I think I can explain that a bit for you.
Okay.
That is kind of a takeaway from Tetsunoka versus Capcom. When you did an assist, the
Hmm.
screen would blank out for the character and it would say assist okay when they would return.
Right.
And it would also fizzle out like that when you were being hit.
Right. But in this, the character's coming in. He can come in and do a super. He can come in and keep the combo going. Um, it's weird. It's like an assist, obviously, but then it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there are times in the trailer that they have. It seems like you could do a tag
Hmm.
and do a specific input for the
Hmm.
character, and
Right.
then press tag quickly, and it will act like a pseudo assist.
And then
They'll
they'll
still,
go back out. They'll tag
yeah,
out.
they'll
Okay.
still do whatever move that you initially put in,
Right.
and then they would just tag out. So it's something like the custom combo tag thing from Skullgirls.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? It looks like, according to this gameplay footage that we're watching, the game looks, the speed wise, looks a little slower as opposed to Ultimate Marvel, which was like super fast paced. And I don't know, they may tweak this. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, but you can tell, like, as they're doing air combos and combos, that it's a little slower. What do you think about that?
Yeah, the speed, I agree. The speed of the game seems like it is between Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and
Hmm.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I would say 2 is still the fastest one.
Yeah. Yeah, two was
And
zany. Two was
yeah,
like real zany.
2 is zany, but 3 just has a lot of flash going on compared
Yeah,
to 2.
yeah.
So that's why it seems like it's moving faster.
I think also, because I just saw Hulk do the gamma, was it the gamma wave? And it
Hmm.
looks to be, and I know the game is still obviously in development, early development. The damage doesn't look to be over the top like Ultimate Marvel. Um,
Well,
mhm.
damage in particular in Ultimate Marvel isn't particularly high unless you actually use an X Factor. Specific characters aside that
Right.
were just very meter dependent or very X Factor dependent, which
Hmm.
was like Strider. Strider is closer to being Marvel vs. Capcom 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 again,
Right.
because he's not a glass cannon
Right.
to the super extent that they gave him in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
I see. Very true, very true. Just trying to break down this video. You can see
Hmm.
Hulk right there using the space gem to pull Thor closer to him, and then goes into a combo. Do you think the game is gonna be four button attacks? I think it's going to be.
I could see it being four button attacks just for the sake of making the game simpler
Yeah.
again,
Hmm.
because that's very safe. Tatsunoko versus Capcom used the same interface, and it made for a very advanced game of its own.
Right.
And so did Marvel eventually. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I would say.
Yeah. And now one thing I did notice, it seems to be that this versus series game is going to be with the round system. So you can see like there was a HC for hyper combo under one of the life bars, and then the other side had like it was a round, like round one. So I think this game is actually using the round system, and you have to knock out both characters, and then you fully won the first round. Obviously, this is not confirmed yet, but just basing off looking at this video here, like you can clearly see that they were fighting in the third round.
Very good
Uh,
observation.
yeah, did you notice that?
Nope, I did not notice that at all.
Yeah, and I've seen, people in forums and message boards mention that. I had to go back and watch the video again. I'm like, oh wow, yeah, there were like icons under the life bars indicating that, that was a round complete and another round complete. So I don't know. I
So,
guess go ahead.
did you see that all when Ultron won a round specifically?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make that clear.
And speaking of Ultron, and you came in at a good point where Ultron's just like beating the snot out of Chun-Li. Dude, he looks crazy, like with the triangle jump and rushing down, and he has like his own assists. Like he looks crazy.
He seems like everything people have ever wanted Bastion to be.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas he is calling it a drone.
Right.
He has a humanoid size, and he has beams, and he has his own assists. He has his own command grab. It seems.
Yeah. And he's a rushdown character. Like this guy, he has like claws, like Sabretooth and Wolverine. Like he's just going in on Chun-Li. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the game, and some people said it looks like a mobile game right now.
I
Obviously,
agree with them. It does look like a mobile game. It looks like Contest of Champions.
yeah, but and we clearly know it's still in development, and I'm cool with that. And in my other video that I did, the impressions video, I felt like the game maybe should have been announced for a October or November release, but obviously, Capcom has stated for September 19th. So do you feel like September 19th is a good time frame, or that it should have been later in the fall?
Well, it looks like this game from the start seemed like a very budget title
Hmm.
for Capcom. So for them to say like, okay, it's only had a year and a half worth of development, we're going to bring it out 2017.
Hmm.
Yeah, it seemed like this is a budget game, and they're just going to bring it out the door. As you can already see, they're even announcing before time that there's going to be 6 DLC characters.
Yes, yes, yes. Nice segue into that. So we know that Sigma is one of them.
Hmm.
And it looks to be for the first season. So, because I know they said a season pass. So, we know Sigma's in the first set or the first season, and then we have five more. We all know the leak is to be X-Men characters, but hey, who knows? Anything can change.
Yeah,
Um, and now you know what I've noticed though? There's a lot of reused animations from Ultimate Marvel. Like for Hawkeye, he still has the slide. Um, what else? Chris Redfield. Um, I don't know. I mean, that's cool, with the animations, some of them being reused, but then they have a lot of new stuff. You can see right there, Hawkeye's. I think that was his new level 3.
it was his new
Um,
level 3.
yeah, and it was
He
very,
had 3 bars to start, and it ended up at 0. So,
yeah. So very cinematic. There was no Ant-Man in that. Wink, wink.
mhm.
Um, but yeah. So what do you feel about the new supers? You think they're creative enough? Not creative? What do you think?
I think they're creative enough. I can't tell for sure if it's for Thor. He has a new level 3
Hmm.
because the footage immediately starts at 0
Yeah,
for his meter. But Mighty Punish is a level 1 now,
I did see that. I did see that. Yeah.
and honestly, I think it's better suited there
Hmm.
because it constantly missed. You had to be precise with it, and it just didn't do enough damage in Marvel's Capcom 3.
Yeah, yeah. And then you had to, it's a grab, so
Yeah, it's a
you got to
grab.
be like right up on them to grab them to pull it off.
Hmm. But it seems like in general he has more range, so
Hmm.
hopefully it also carried over to Mighty Punish. As for just in general how they look, I think they're very lackluster.
Yeah,
The specifically for Chun-Li's Senku Kyaku, her level 3 from the previous
the air
Marvel
move.
games,
Hmm.
aside from Marvel's Capcom 3,
Hmm.
that is very lackluster. You can look at it from Marvel's Capcom 1, it
Hmm.
looks amazing. If you look at it in Tatsunoko versus Capcom, really, really good. Here, it looks so flat and boring and just why? And it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Specifically because it goes in slow motion. It has that old school like martial arts angle. It has the Fist of the North Star style stop motion, and it has the kanji on screen.
Hmm.
And they just took all of that out.
Yeah.
It's just gone. So that's just my personal pet peeve with it. I like that Strider's Ouroboros is a
Hmm.
level 1 again.
Was it a level one? I didn't notice
It's
the
a level
bar.
1.
Nice.
And because there is no X factor, there's no reason to complain about it. It's back to its normal form, so it's very slow.
Yeah.
He has to actually like attack to make it worthwhile,
Hmm.
and to find the space in between attacks.
Nice.
Um, and I think that's it from everything that I've noticed from Supers, aside from like Ultrons. And I think Ultron's on is kind of boring with the cross beams.
That was kind of hot though. I kind of like that, like just total
I like it,
destruction.
but I would rather a special move. It did seem super worthy.
Right, right, right. Well, I'm pretty sure he'll probably have more than one super. But
Of
really
course, of
quick,
course.
I notice here with Chris, he has like three. They look to be bullets or rounds under his character portrait. So
Correct.
it looks like maybe he'll be able to like kunais, like Ibuki's kunais. Like maybe he can
Hmm.
like load different bullets into his gun that have like different effects. I don't know. It's just stuff that I'm noticing in the video here. It's pretty crazy.
So I'm thinking that might have to do with Barry's elephant gun.
Interesting.
You might have to reload that specific gun in order to make it like powerful or to use it in general, because he might have the pistol
Mm-hmm.
as his normal attack for like quarter circle forward. Then quarter circle
Oh.
back
Mm-hmm.
is reload, and then when you do quarter circle forward again, it gives you the elephant gun.
I see. I see. That's kind of sick.
There's constant like other games like this, like Melty Blood has a character like that with a gun mechanic. It's a common thing now with a lot of gun characters to make them somewhat interesting as well as making them powerful without making them OP.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
One thing else that I noticed like the characters seem really huge. Like the camera's like right up there. Um, I'm excited for it, man. I'm really excited for it. Like I said, the hyper combos is getting back. It looks like
Yeah,
it's getting back to its roots.
it seems like they gave Hawkeye like maybe 2 or 3 new trick arrows
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
he has one that bounces up and down on screen. So it looks like he has his own form of keep away, but also able to use this in a combo, kind of like Arthur did.
Right, 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 right. And Chun Li's super, that's a OTG. That's funny. Oh my gosh, her the super lightning legs is a
And
OTG.
yeah, it has been since Marvel 2 or 3.
I know Marvel actually
It's also in Tatsunoko as well.
Marvel 1 and 2 it was actually OTG. They
Hmm.
they they, they were OTG because she had like the like blue lightning coming out from her legs.
Okay.
But to see it in this form, with the 3D models, and there go Chris Redfield with that wall bounce. That's, I thought it was gonna be like individual traits for each character, but it looks like the Power Stone will cause a wall bounce no matter what character you use, and that's fine.
That is totally fine because it gives characters that normally wouldn't have a wall bounce to continue their combo to have one now. So there is a strategy involved.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
imagine if they did give you his donkey kick. He
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have any form of wall bounce in this game at all.
Right, right, right,
But
right,
with
right,
that
right.
stone, he'll be able to have one.
Yeah, that's that's very true. Very true. Yeah, just looking at this, it just it's still in development. It looks good, even though some parts it looks washed out and looks like a mobile game. And then you just see Hulk just wailing on. Well, he was wailing on Strider, and then Ultron came in and said enough of that. And there's the
Did you notice
Infinity
that
Storm, huh?
Hulk? Did you notice that Hulk now has a wall bounce?
Was it his Fierce Punch? It looks like it.
It's his fierce punch. Normally, it just sends you to the other side of the screen,
Right.
but now it wall bounces you.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it
Um,
improves his combo game, and it doesn't really do anything to give him a new move.
I
So that's
just
nice. It's a new property for an old move.
I just realized that's Avengers Tower they're fighting in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
It's
wow.
it's Avengers HQ.
Yeah, I just realized that.
That was the first thing on
Um,
my notes. Yeah.
um. Now, did you notice the advance guard? I
Uh,
noticed when
yes, I did.
Hulk did it. I think I forgot who he's fighting. I think it was Thor. Thor went like sliding across the other side of the screen. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Now
They
you know in the previous games, whenever you would do like a push block, they would move like maybe like a quarter feet away. It just pushes them, slightly off. This like Hulk pushed him to the other side of the screen.
Yeah, I think they want to do that so that people are trying to negate their chip damage.
With the pressure.
Yeah,
I
like
see.
for maybe like beam supers,
Hmm.
how you could use advanced guard to take out maybe like 15% of that damage
Yeah.
and maybe save yourself just a bit longer. Now, it for certain supers, like I can see that for Charlie's lightning legs, that's just going to negate it outright.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So then you just like get off me, and then it just like, go flying to the other side. That
Hmm.
was pretty sick. But yeah, I think as for impressions and breakdown, I'm just we've pretty much gone extensively in what we saw. And you see Hulk just with new animations with his kicks. He's just like kicking the snot out of Hawkeye. Um,
There
yeah,
is other things that I have noticed if you want me to go
yeah.
over
Go
them.
for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so if as we noticed, like in Marvel's Capcom 3, there
Hmm.
was 5 bars of meter. For Marvel's Capcom 1, I believe it was 3 or 4.
It
It's
was. Oh wow. It was three.
it was 3. Okay, so in this one it's 4.
Is it four or was it
It's 4.
five?
It's 4. You see it at max at 4.
Oh wow. Interesting.
And I could be wrong there. I may have to recheck the footage. So I apologize in advance. And aside from that, I don't know about this for sure, but while I was listening to it,
Hmm.
the music seems to have its own specific streamlined design this time moving forward. Whereas Marvel's Capcom 3 kind of had either this orchestrated design for if you wanted to play with the music for the stages,
Right.
and this varied design where it could be orchestrated, it could be techno, it could be instrumental.
Really?
Right.
That's kind of
And
sick.
this was for the character themes. Like certain character themes, like Ryu's was very techno. So
Hmm.
was Iron Man's.
All right.
And for Akuma, he had very traditional instruments. But for Thor, he was one of the characters that had a orchestrated style.
Oh,
But
I see.
but this time around, it seems like all the Marvel characters
Hmm.
have a heroic orchestra playing, or at least for the stages. Because from when I heard Thor's stage, every time it played a very orchestrated song.
Mm.
But whenever you heard the Avengers HQ stage,
Hmm.
you either heard Chun-Li's music, you heard Chris Redfield's music, and you heard Strider's, and all three of theirs is very electronic based. So it
Mm.
sounds like we're getting this kind of heroic orchestra for the Marvel side,
Hmm.
and this sort of video game electronic music for the Capcom side.
I see. Interesting. That's a good observation.
Hmm.
Real quick, one thing I've noticed, when you beat a character, when you KO him, Hulk's body was still laid on the ground.
Hmm.
I think in the older games,
They just faded away,
yeah, Marvel
unless they
Superheroes
were.
versus Street Fighter, they would fade away. I think even Marvel versus Capcom 1.
Mhm.
But Hulk's body laid there until Chris Redfield died.
Yeah, even Strider, who is a character that's known to die like how he does in his game
Hmm.
by teleporting into energy, like Mega Man,
Oh
you'd
yeah.
say,
Hmm.
he stayed on stream.
Wow.
Uh, there was a fight, I believe, with him and Hulk
Hmm.
versus Ultron, and you could see on the left-hand side his
Hmm.
body is still there.
That's neat. That nice detail that they put in there. Because the older games they would fade away and disappear. Or like X-Men versus Street Fighter, you'll see them like when you beat them, they go like bouncing out either the
I
left or the
actually
right
prefer
hand
the
screen.
bounce. I prefer the bounce. I prefer flying off screen, not
Yeah,
like
to get.
not just
Mhm.
stay in the corner if they get thrown into a corner.
Yeah. But I kind of like them just laying there. It's a little more realistic, but that's a nice little note and detail.
I would say
Um.
it depends. If it's just a light tap,
Mhm.
sure, stay on screen. If I hit you with a hard punch or a hard kick, I want to see you flying.
Flying off the screen.
If you're a character known to melt or explode or
Hmm.
whatever, do that.
Yeah,
I don't want to see Strider on the screen still. I don't want to see Mega Man on the screen still.
that's funny.
That's just me personally.
Yeah, that's
Did
funny.
you
Huh?
did you notice there was an auto combo feature?
I did see that. I saw it with Hulk, and it said auto combo. I don't even know
Right.
what that means. I wonder if
I
that's for like an easy mode or easy operation.
I think it may just have to do with the character doing a light, medium, heavy.
Mmm.
So like the normal dollar combo or the revolver system or
Right.
whatever it is in Guilty Gear.
Like the chain combos,
Chain
zigzag, as they
system.
say, zigzag.
So you just do the light, medium, heavy launcher, light, medium, heavy into the launcher again. I think that should be an auto combo
Mmm.
because that's a combo that's built into the game as something specific for every character.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it was like I don't want to say like a one. Yeah, so there it is right there with Hawkeye. He just did it auto combo.
Hmm?
I don't know.
Now, did you also see something called a counter switch?
I did see that.
Okay, you did go over that though.
So it's pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, it's a counter to a switch. Well, that's pretty much self-explanatory. But it's you're countering the opponent's character switch or the other person running in. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong.
I honestly don't know.
Oh.
We don't really have a information on it because we saw Chris Redfield doing a combo on, I believe, Thor.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Ultron doing a combo on Thor, and Chris Redfield came in on Thor's side.
Mm.
Thor and Chris was on the same team, and Chris came in instead of another character. So I don't know if this is a a combo break
Yeah,
or
I think it's a combo break, like, because you're countering that character switch or that tag or
right.
whatever. Mm-hmm.
It seems to be like this is just a way for you to stop a combo in progress
Yeah.
because Ultron was still able to hit Thor a couple more times before he got hit.
Right.
So I believe this is just a way to like make your character dead and tag in the other character to
Mm-hmm.
take over for them and try to stop this character from dying.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna see how that plays out. Yeah, you're right. Hold on, real quick. You're right about the bars. It said four max, so yeah, it
Hmm.
maxes out at four. Interesting.
Okay.
Um, wow. I don't know. That's my observations. Obviously, between now and September, there's gonna be more information, more news, more gameplay, possibly more on the story. San Diego Comic Con is coming up in the summer, and we know Capcom most likely will be dropping information and news there. Maybe also at E3. But
Oh,
yeah.
there
What's up?
is there is one other thing we did go over,
What's
and
that?
that was Strider's new level one.
Go for it.
Yeah, so he doesn't have the level one where he just does maximum Strider anymore. It seems. I don't know. We still have to see what he has.
Hmm.
But he has a new level one that looks like it's taken from his special abilities from the original Strider games or
Hmm.
the Strider PlayStation 1 game. Whereas he does a few slashes
Hmm.
and they're just phantom slashes.
I saw.
So,
You know what? Yeah, he just did that to Hulk in the air.
mhm.
Yeah.
So there's that for him, and that is something that's taken directly from his game. So
Mm.
good on Capcom for doing that as well. There is also the fact that each team has a team color, red and blue,
Yep.
and on each side they have their own specific colors for when they do a combo.
Right.
And depending on whatever they did, like a combo break or an auto combo, it will come up as blue or red, and specifically on their side. So this may be for specifically to help people figure out what's actually going on which
Hmm.
side of the teams, as
Yeah.
well as
Hmm.
there is the Infinity Gem system. There is
Hmm.
one other thing that we neglected to mention.
What's
When
that?
you lose a character, you get 50% of your bar immediately.
Yeah. You know what? And I noticed that as they're taking, or is it, wait, as she's dishing out damage, her bar is going up. Hold on.
Right. I don't know if you get meter if you use the skill,
Right.
like the wall bounce
Uh huh.
or drawing forward. If it does, it's very minimal.
Actually, wait. I'm trying to just see. It doesn't look like Chun Li was. Hold on. Trying to see if she's building bar. No, as you're taking damage, you build bar.
Oh,
That's
it's strictly taking damage. Okay.
yeah. Yeah. Ultron was just beating up Thor, and I was looking at his Infinity Stone, and it was building up as he was taking damage.
Hmm.
Yeah. He's beating up Hawkeye now, and Hawkeye's Time Stone is building up. So it looks almost like the rage, not the rage, what was that in Street Fighter 4? The
Ultra.
ultra meter, thank you. The ultra meter, as you're taking damage, it builds up. So that's cool.
So it builds up like the ultra meter.
Hmm.
You have two systems involved in it, like Street Fighter Five,
Right.
and you select them like gems in Cross Tekken.
Right, exactly. Now you know what would have been cool though, and this probably would have been a little too much if you have two characters. So one character has, the Infinity Gem you want to select for that character, and then your second character can have a completely different one. I know that's not in there, but that'd be really crazy.
It might have been a bit too Cross Tekken for a lot of people's blood.
Yeah, it's like, like I'm using Hulk and he has space, and then Chun Li has the power gem. That might be a little too
Yeah,
much.
that would be helpful considering their weaknesses in certain areas.
Right, exactly. You never know. It may change between now and release date. You never
Yeah,
know.
they have what about 5 months, maybe four.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's all I have. Do you have anything else, T Risk?
Other than for people to just calm down, we already went through this with KOF 14.
Mm-hmm.
The game looks bad now. It looked bad from the first time we saw it. It kind of looks a little bit better. So hopefully by next time we see it, there's going to be another drastic change.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to do obviously one versus one, but if we can do a 2v2 in this, that'd be great if they implement that feature.
Oh,
So,
co-op.
Yeah, co-op. So like me and you can team up against Alex and Noop. You know
That would
that
be nice.
it'd be like cross Tekken.
That would be nice. I did enjoy it in Cross Tekken, like being able to know what my ally was doing
Yeah,
and time in at the right time to continue the combo and tag out.
yeah. Okay, well, guys, this is
Honestly,
Shinwar.
that'd be interesting for the combo break system. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right. Did you want to add anything before we close out?
Uh, Other than that, they can find me on Twitter as gig_gaming. That's my
Hmm.
Twitter nowadays.
Right,
I have a YouTube channel. I'm working on it. It also has the same name. You're not going to find it. It doesn't have a specific ID yet.
right.
I will give Shinwar the link in the description.
Yep.
It doesn't have any videos, but I'm working on that right now. There's a
Okay.
lot of projects going on right here.
Nice. Yeah, we stay working, y'all. So make sure you guys check out www.newgamingorder.com. Make sure you check out New Gaming Order on YouTube. Shout out to Alex Lexus. Make sure you guys rate, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you like my Geeking Out 1337 Facebook page. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube. Shin is War. Shin War. I forgot my own YouTube name. Um, and make sure you check me. Follow me on Instagram at geeking_out_official. So that's all we got. We will be back sometime, hopefully this week with more news. And that's all I got. Take care, guys. Peace.